Hello. Today's presentation introduces a line of Braille displays, packed with teacher and student benefits. We will be showcasing the unique technology, only found on Handy Tech Braille Displays, from Help Tech GmbH in Germany. This presentation is brought to you by Dream Vision Group.
Thank you for joining us. Dream Vision Group is a blind-owned company specializing in Braille and Low Vision products, with an emphasis on training and support. Dream Vision Group is the North American distributor of the Handy Tech Braille Displays from Help Tech GmbH in Germany.
Help Tech has been producing high-quality Braille products for more than 3 decades. In 2012, they introduced touch-sensitive Braille cell technology that allows the displays to respond to reading gestures. This technology is called Active Tactile Control, or ATC for short.
Everything from 16-cell portability to 80-cell productivity.
Today we will emphasize the powerful features found only on Handy Tech Active Series displays. We will also cover the benefits of the basic series lineup. As you learn about these groundbreaking capabilities, bear in mind, every Handy Tech display is compatible with all major screen readers and peripherals and comes with an industry-leading 3-year warranty. These displays do all the things that you'd expect from a Braille display. They just happen to have some pretty amazing features that aren't found anywhere else. For today's agenda, we're going to start by covering the unique features and benefits of the Active Series Smart Braille displays. We will discuss how these features help students and teachers, and then we will go over the full lineup of Braille displays brought to you by Help Tech GmbH. Lastly, we will take time at the end to answer questions and give you a chance to get your hands on these amazing devices. First on the list, we will answer the question, what is Active Tactile Control, or ATC? Well, to start, it's concave cells and sensors under the Braille pins. Next, we will look at how Active Tactile Control helps Braille learners by creating custom screen reader responses and learning profiles. After that, we'll talk about how ATC helps teachers. We'll show you the reading log, player and analyzer applications, as well as the Tably, HT Echo, and HT Instructor Android apps and the Help Tech Plus iOS app. Then, just for fun, we'll show you some games, and the unique Braille music feature called Music Braille. Once we've covered those items, we'll go over the full lineup of Handy Tech Braille displays and let you know which features are included in each.
So, let's get started. What is Active Tactile Control?
ATC, or Active Tactile Control, refers to a type of patented curved ergonomic Braille cells that are concave in shape and have sensors under each Braille pin. This shape is designed to fit the pads of your fingertips and supports a more natural hand position than stretching the fingers to read on traditional flat cells. These ergonomic cells can extend reading times by minimizing hand fatigue, and, yes, you heard that right, these cells have sensors under each pin. They are the only Braille displays in the world with this technology. This allows the Braille device to track a reader's finger position. Basically, the display knows where your fingers are. It knows which Braille characters you are reading as you read them. This technology, the sensors under each Braille pin, makes a host of unique features possible and significantly benefits Braille students and teachers. Let's dig a little deeper. We mentioned that Active Tactile Control, those sensors under the Braille, allow the display to know what Braille you are reading as you read it. Well, we call it Braille that follows your fingers. One of the simplest benefits of ATC is that it can automatically refresh the Braille when your fingers reach the end of the display. This is different from the auto-scrolling at a timed interval feature on other displays. Basically, the device waits until you get to the end of the line, then advances to the next line. You can get up to take a phone call or get a drink and come back to it exactly where you left off. Here's a little clip to show you what we are talking about. First, notice the curved Braille cells. As we zoom in, you can see how this design fits the pad of the finger, giving the reader more tactile feedback while allowing the hand and wrist to stay in a more natural position. Compare that with this traditional Braille display and notice the hand position as well as the finger coverage on the Braille cells. Reading on traditional Braille displays is just fine, but for beginning Braille students and/or longer reading times, the curved Braille makes a big difference. Also notice that the Braille automatically refreshes when you reach the end of the display. When you take your hands off the display, the scrolling stops. Once you go back to reading, the display is right where you left it. Seeing this in action is a great way to demonstrate that ATC knows where the reader's fingers are. Now that we've explained ATC, let's talk about how ATC helps Braille learners. Because ATC detects your finger position on the display, this information can be used to trigger custom JAWS actions that can enhance Braille learning and reading comprehension. So, what exactly does that mean? Well, as we mentioned a few times, ATC uses the sensor under the Braille pins to know where your fingers are when reading. So, This means ATC can provide instant spoken feedback when the student reads a given word or character. That's right, JAWS will now speak as you read word for word or even character by character if you want, rather than speak the whole line of Braille at once. A student can get instant audio feedback as their fingers touch the corresponding Braille on the display. How cool is that?
Pretty cool.
Okay, let's dive a little deeper into this ATC stuff. With ATC you can customize JAWS to respond in a way that benefits your Braille student. Basically, you can tell JAWS to do a bunch of things that aren't possible with other Braille displays. Here are just a few examples so you can get an idea of what I mean. You can have JAWS echo each individual character for a beginning Braille reader. So again, instead of speaking the whole line at once, JAWS will speak each individual character as the student's finger touches the Braille. You can also have JAWS speak each word as the student reads it. You can set it to do this as the reader's fingers get to each new word, so that they hear the word just before reading it. Or, you can set it to speak as the fingers reach the end of the word, reinforcing what the student read. You could also have JAWS stay silent, unless the student pauses on the word, and when the pause is identified, maybe you want JAWS to speak and spell the word. Well, it can do that too.
Nice.
Okay, before we show you some clips of ATC in action, we want to mention the ATC monitor. The ATC monitor is a window that can be displayed on the computer screen. It shows a visual representation of what is displayed in Braille, and it highlights the finger position, making it easy to watch the student's reading session in real time. This can be very helpful for assisting with a reading session. Imagine if you have JAWS set to stay silent, and the student is struggling with the word while reading aloud, or reading a large document. You are able to assist without interrupting the student's finger position. This is another feature that both parents and teachers find very helpful. Now, let's see this in action. In the video clip we are about to show you, a new Braille learner is reading the alphabet, and ATC is set to speak each character whenever the student's finger touches the Braille. JAWS does not read the whole line at once like it normally does, but rather it speaks each letter only when the student reads that letter. And, not only is the ATC monitor showing the visual representation of what is on the Braille display, but it also highlights the student's reading position. In this case, we set the monitor to highlight the cell in green when the student is reading normal, yellow when resting, and red when reading backwards. Let's watch the clip and see what I mean.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, L, K, J, I, H, I, H, I, H, I, H, G, F, G.
Now that we've seen this in action, let's talk about how ATC works. First, ATC can recognize 4 different reading behaviors. Because of those fancy sensors under the Braille pens, ATC knows when you are reading normal, reading fast, resting, and reading backwards. Normal reading is, as expected, when the reading position is moving from left to right. Fast reading is when the reading speed is faster than X characters per second. In all cases, X is user-defined. For example, for a new reader, reading fast is going to look a lot different than it is for a more advanced reader, and because X is user-definable, this means we can define normal and fast reading, and even resting for each individual reader. Resting is when one character is touched for longer than X seconds. Again, X is user-definable. I usually think of resting as when a reader pauses to examine an unfamiliar word or character. For more advanced readers, this can be an intentional pause used to trigger a specific action. We'll give an example of that in a little bit. Reading backwards. This is when the reading position is moving from right to left, as when the reader revisits something they missed. This is sometimes called scrubbing. Next, ATC and how it works. So now we know that ATC can detect 4 different actions. What makes that super cool is that you can set ATC to respond independently to each of the 4 reading behaviors. Like we showed in the alphabet reading example, where ATC was set to read current characters for all 4 behaviors. This meant that every time the student's finger touched the Braille character, whether they read the character fast, or normal, or even if they paused, they received instant and appropriate feedback. No matter where they were in the document, when the student touched the letter H, JAWS said H.
H, I, H, I, H, G, F, G.
So cool.
I know, right? You'll see in the ATC Assistant Functions pop-up menu that there are multiple responses available for each of the 4 behaviors. More than just having JAWS speak and spell, but also signal, or root mouse cursor, and even announce character attribute change. These actions make it possible to customize ATC for the maximum benefit of each individual student. Even better, these customizations can be saved as one of the learning profiles. Now that we know a little more about how ATC works, and what it can do, here's an example of how ATC can be used to help a slightly more advanced reader. In this example, we have ATC set to echo words in normal reading, and speak characters when resting or reading backwards. We've chosen the sentence, "The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog," because it uses every letter of the alphabet.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox. F O X F O X.
Did you notice, in the example we just saw, when the reader paused or scrubbed on a single character, even within a word, only the character was spoken aloud? That is just one of many settings available when using ATC. In this next example, we've created a more advanced reading profile in which the student, in this case Damien, no longer needs the constant speech reinforcement as he's reading. So we've set ATC to take no action when reading normal or fast, but we have set ATC to speak and spell the word when Damien pauses or rests on an unfamiliar word. So let's see how this works.
As a boy in school, I dragged a Perkins Braille writer and volumes of huge Braille books from class to class on a little red wagon. I read science fiction, dreaming of robots.
ATC stuff is pretty great, but can you answer the question, how does ATC help teachers?
Well, for starters, ATC allows for the recording, playback, and analysis of reading sessions. In fact, each one of the sessions that we watched earlier was recorded to a reading log file. These log files can even be sent as email attachments. Now a teacher can watch the reading session, as if it were happening in real time, using the log player. Additionally, the teacher can also examine all the associated data for each reading session, using the log analyzer. On a side note, every Help Tech Active Series display, including the Active Braille, the Activator, and even the portable 16-cell Actilino, comes with a USB start stick containing manuals and useful programs. The log player and log analyzer are two examples of such programs. To recap, the log player is the program used to record and playback student reading sessions. The log player displays a visual representation of a student's reading behaviors. The log analyzer is the program used to collect, quantify, and export data from student reading sessions. Let's see the log player and log analyzer in action.
The icons for both the log player and the log analyzer are automatically added to your desktop when installed via the Start Stick. I'm going to start by opening up the log player. Click File, and I'm going to open up the alphabet session that we saw earlier. You'll notice that there are media buttons across the top. I'll go ahead and press play so that we can review this session. Finger position is indicated in dark blue, and cells are highlighted in light blue once they've been read. What's interesting about this session is that the student went back and forth between the E and the I, which are letters that are commonly confused with each other. Then we can watch as the student continues with the alphabet session. I'm going to stop here and open up a more advanced session for you to see. Again, you can see where the student's finger position is, because the cells are highlighted in blue as the student moves through the reading passage. You can also note the date and time that the reading session took place, because the program creates a timestamp each time it is started. Now that you have an idea how the log player works, I'm going to open up this same session in the log analyzer and show you some of the data that it records. I'm going to open the analyzer and again, go to File and open that same reading session that we saw earlier. Within the analyzer, there are several categories of data. Some of them are more relevant than others, so I'm going to focus on some of the more frequently used ones. Under the General tab, you'll see an overview of information such as date of creation, characters read, characters per minute, etc. The Reading Improvement tab shows data for each active minute of the session. Not only are the number of words, as well as the forward and backward read characters shown, but Analyzer also provides the number of unread characters. This information can be helpful when dealing with reading comprehension issues. Towards the bottom is the Character Set tab. This section breaks down the data for each individual character. For instance, the capital D was read 8 times in 8 different positions. We can compare that with the capital V, which was read 8 times, but in only 5 positions. That tells you that the student revisited that letter 3 times during the session. Any or all of these categories in the Reading Analyzer can be exported into an Excel spreadsheet, which is a great way to document student progress for IEP goals.
Believe it or not, there are even more ways that ATC can help teachers. There are 3 free Android-based apps that pair with most Active series displays, including the Active Braille 40 and the portable Actilino. Just to note, the all-new Activator and Activator Pro have their own Help Tech Plus app, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's look at Tably, HT Echo, and HT Instructor. These free apps run on an Android tablet and connect to student Braille devices via Bluetooth. All 3 apps allow teachers to monitor and assist 1 or more students simultaneously, but each app also has its own benefits. First up is the Tably app. This app was designed for deaf-blind communication, but is often used as a Braille monitor because it shows what appears on the Braille display. The cool thing about this app is that a sighted individual can type into the connected app, and their message will appear on the Braille display. As you can guess, this is not only a great deaf-blind communication tool, but opens up the door for many other uses. We've even heard from a teacher that uses Tably to do flashcards for her student. She just types in the vocabulary word, and the student reads it in Braille. She loves it because her student feels like they are playing a game.
Who knew learning Braille could be so fun?
Next up is the HT Echo app. This app can echo what is on the lead Braille display, on up to 4 other displays. That's because whatever is on the teacher's display populates exactly on every student display, so teachers can use this when reading to a group, to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Nice.
Right? But there's more. We have a keystroke that allows the group to trade off who has the lead display. This means teachers can use this app to have a back-and-forth discussion with their students. Even cooler, deaf-blind students can use HT Echo to have a group chat. Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Is there an echo in here?
Ha ha.
Okay, let's move on to HT Instructor. This app allows teachers to monitor up to 4 Braille displays working independently. Yeah, that's right. The app window is broken into 4 different sections, and each section can be paired with a different Active series display. One student can be working on a paper, another on vocabulary words, etc. The teacher can monitor each student from his or her desk. Not only that, but a blind teacher is able to connect a 5th display, and use that to toggle through each window as well. So let's watch this clip and see what these apps can do.
Here is the Tably app that Matt told you about. The teacher is going to use it for flashcards. She simply clicks on the Tably app icon, and the Active Braille connects instantly.
Connected with Active Braille AB4S022084.
The teacher then goes into Settings, where you can change the high contrast colors, the font size, and the speech rate. In this case, the teacher is going to turn off text-to-speech. Then she is going to type in the vocabulary word, squash, using the on-screen tablet keyboard. As she types, the vocabulary word populates on the Braille display for the student to read.
Squash.
Now the teacher is typing the vocab word, tomato. Also, note that you could use a Bluetooth keyboard with the tablet in place of the on-screen one, if you prefer. Now, let's see if Damien gets this correct.
Tomato.
Great job, Damien. Here we are looking at HT Echo. This is the app that allows you to mirror what is on one display on up to 4 other displays. As we focus on Damien reading, you can see that the Braille from his display is populating on the display above his.
Domestic tranquility. Provide for the common defense. Promote the general.
Notice that the contents of the Braille display, as well as finger position, is shown on the app. This is true for the Tably app we just saw, as well as the HT Instructor app, which shows 4 different windows. As you can see here, each window can be paired with a different display, allowing a teacher to monitor up to 4 students simultaneously. You can see what Damien is typing as it populates in the top left corner of the HT Instructor app. In the top right corner, you can see what Jen is reading, as well as her finger position. All of these free Android apps from Help Tech are great tools for both teachers and students.
If you were wondering about iOS apps for iPhones and iPads, we've got you covered. The exciting new Activator with iPhone Smart Dock and the Activator Pro both pair with the Help Tech Plus app to give iOS Braille users more streamlined functionality than you have with traditional Bluetooth pairing on other displays. This is because Help Tech worked with the developers at Apple to allow for a wired connection between the Apple devices and the Activator and Activator Pro, giving users increased data capacity. This wired connection, in combination with the free Help Tech Plus app from the Apple App Store, is like turning your Activator into an iOS Braille workstation. In the Help Tech Plus app, you can switch on the Braille monitor to show the contents of the display on the iPhone or iPad screen. This is great for teachers working with students. There's also a Braille chat feature designed for face-to-face communication between deaf-blind Braille users and their sighted colleagues. The live chat feature is also a great way to dictate notes that can be saved as text or Braille files on the Activator for later review or editing.
I like it. How else is it like a Braille workstation?
Well, the app also lets you send either text or files back and forth between the Activator and iPhone or iPad, or even an external USB drive storage device. This app will even perform OCR to convert inaccessible image files into readable text or Braille files. Finally, if all that wasn't enough, the Help Tech Plus app includes the Smart Services newsfeed, optimized for reading current events on a Braille display. This can be really helpful when doing research. Now, let's let Damien show us around the Activator and the Help Tech Plus app.
Damien is opening the Help Tech Plus app. Then he just slides the Smart Dock towards the connection side of the Activator and bam! It magnetizes in place and automatically connects. It will even start VoiceOver if that isn't already on. Now, Damien will use the Activator's joystick to move through the app menu.
Braille monitor. Display Braille output for sighted people. Braille chat. Live chat between the iPhone and the Activator. Transfer text. Send text from the clipboard to your Activator. File manager. Transfer files between Activator and iPhone. News. Today's news optimized for your Activator. Button.
Starting with Braille monitor, we can both see and hear what Damien is typing in a document.
Hello, this is a. Hello, this is a.
When he goes back into the menu of the Activator,
Editor. Apps.
that is displayed as well,
Services.
and can help sighted teachers navigate the display.
Clock.
In this instance, Damien is reading the help file that comes loaded on all the Active Series displays.
Letters. Select them. And open. Edit.
Again, his finger position is also shown on the monitor. Let's move on to Braille chat.
Braille chat. Live chat between the iPhone and the Activator. Button.
This was designed for deaf-blind communication. Damien types a message which is read aloud.
Received a new message. Hello.
Now, the sighted individual can speak a reply and send it to populate the Braille display.
Are you here to see Dr. Smith?
Double tap to alert. Yes. Button.
The Help Tech Plus app saves the message history, so revisiting doctor's orders or any conversation is easy to do. This feature can also be used as a quick way to dictate notes. Two more tools included in the app are the Transfer Text and File Manager. With Transfer Text, you can send text from your clipboard to your Activator. Likewise, the File Manager lets you send files back and forth between the iPhone or iPad and the Activator. When you do, you'll be prompted to use the OCR feature in case your file is inaccessible.
News. Today's news optimized for your Activator. Button.
Last but not least, is the customizable newsfeed feature. Click on any one of the headlines, and you get a news article optimized for the Activator.
Propels Georgia to OT win over Texas in SEC championship from New York Post at 2.
All these tools help turn your Activator, or Activator Pro, into an efficient iOS workstation.
On that note, let's wrap up with some fun and games. Braille Hunt is one of the games that comes installed on the Active Series displays. Braille Hunt is a fun way for students to practice proper tracking and build reading speed and comprehension. The game shows a line of Braille characters on the display. Each character is paired with a full Braille cell to show its exact position within the 6-dot matrix. The player checks the first character, then reads quickly across the line, looking for a match. When they think they have a match, they stop or rest on that character. ATC will announce whether they were right or whether they need to try again. If they take too long or scrub too much, ATC will also play the try again sound.
Fun.
Additionally, The classic game of Hangman is also included. This program can be set to include any words you choose, so your student can play using their spelling or vocabulary words.
Wow! Yet another way Active Tactile Control helps Braille learners, and makes it fun at the same time.
Yep, it sure is.
You mentioned Music Braille. What's that?
Well, those cool Braille cells, with ATC, allow for a unique Braille music editor called Music Braille. Tones are played both when notes are typed, and when they are read on the display. So, students can pick out individual notes on a scale with their finger like a keyboard, since the Braille knows where your fingers are. Or, they can compose entire melodies, and then play them back. You can also choose from a variety of musical instruments such as piano or even the steel drums.
Nice! Should we show them the video with games and Music Braille?
Of course.
Here is Damien playing Braille Hunt.
4.56.
Testing out his mad skills.
Ah, got it. I'm looking for a C. Got it. I'm looking for a J. Missed it.
And here is Damien, trying his hand at Hangman.
I've got a 5-letter word. Do I have an E? I have an E in the second position. A B. No B. R-E-A-D. Blank. I bet it's a Y. Got it.
And now, let's move on to Music Braille. We'll watch as Damien types full notes on a C scale. See how he can play the notes just by touching the Braille cells? He can also type chord P to play back his music piece. And even try his hand at composer by picking notes randomly. So fun! Thanks for playing, Damien.
Okay, we've covered a lot today, so let's review. The Handy Tech Active series are the only displays with the patented ATC technology. Again, these are those curved ergonomic cells with sensors under the pins, making the unique features in this presentation possible. The Actilino, which is a portable 16-cell display, and the Active Braille, which is a 40-cell display, are both part of the Active series, and have been the most popular choices for our education customers so far.
But wait, let's hear about the two newest displays in the Handy Tech lineup.
You got it. The Activator 40-cell display, and the new Activator Pro, which comes in either 64 or 80 cells, are hands down some of the most powerful and unique Braille displays in the world. Not only do these displays utilize ATC, and all of the unique benefits that this technology makes possible, but they both have some additional features that are quickly making these displays popular among both students and working adults. So, let's start with the Activator. The Activator is a 40-cell display that has a 2-in-1 Perkins QWERTY keyboard.
What?
Yep, a 2-in-1 keyboard. There is a Braille keyboard just above the cells and it flips open to become a full QWERTY keyboard. Switching between the two is seamless. All you need to do is flip it open to use the QWERTY keyboard, or fold it closed to use the Braille input.
Wow, that's incredible.
There's even more. That Help Tech Plus app that we talked about earlier, well, that is made possible because of the iPhone Smart Dock and its wired connection to either an iPhone or an iPad, and it is why you get so much more functionality than any Bluetooth connection.
Nice. I can easily see why this is quickly becoming one of our most popular displays.
That brings us to the brand new Activator Pro. Choose between 64 or 80 concave Braille cells with adjustable dot firmness and Active Tactile Control, ATC. The high-quality QWERTY keyboard can switch to Braille input with the touch of a key. With an extra row of function keys and 10 quick access keys, you can customize your workstation for maximum efficiency. You can control 2 devices simultaneously with Active Split technology.
Wait, what?
Yep, Active Split technology, brought to you by, you guessed it, ATC, allows you to control 2 devices simultaneously. But, don't take my word for it. You can see it, and the new feature, Braille Shot, which allows you to screenshot your display and save it as a text file, or transfer it to your second device. Let's take a look at both features.
Here is Damien using Active Split. In this example, he is demonstrating how a deaf-blind individual can read instructions from his iPad. in this case, Module 1 of JAWS training, on the right side of the display.
Minimize all windows and focus on the desktop by pressing Win key plus N.
The left side of the display is connected to his PC where he is executing the instructions. Because ATC knows where his fingers are, when Damien touches the Braille on the right, the Activator Pro knows that he is using the iPad.
Use the arrow keys to see how the icons become the cursor focus.
When Damien moves to the left and touches the Braille on that side, the Pro knows that Damien is using his PC.
Thread 4 Technology Showcase.pptx checked 16 of 30.
It's as simple as that.
Mozilla Firefox Control plus Alt plus M checked 15 of 30.
This next clip is an example of Braille Shot in action. Damien's Activator Pro is connected to his laptop on the left, and his iPhone on the right. He is using the Pro to type in a document on his laptop.
Message received from Jen. Going to DMV, please send VIN number sign.
He just received a text on his iPhone requesting some information. So he goes back to the computer to get the information.
Folder view list view type team viewer title for gmctxt.txt title for gmctxt.txt notepad edit type it blank DMV use only blank title ABC 123 guy 700.
When he finds what he's looking for, he uses the quick access key for Braille Shot to record, reads the information he wants to send, then deactivates Braille Shot. Now, he goes to the right side of the display and presses the send button to paste the copied information into the text reply.
SMS. Text field is editing. Insertion point of cap, 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 speed, cap, 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 1, 2, 3, cap, 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 7, 8, 9, cap, cap.
Now he can get back to work. Wow! Who knew that you could do either of those things?
Well, it's new technology, brought to you by.
I know. ATC.
Yep, while ATC technology has been around for years, Help Tech keeps adding and innovating to bring you unprecedented hardware and software solutions.
Not only that, but these Braille displays also do all the things you'd expect from any display.
And they stand behind their products with a 3-year warranty.
Pair that with the free onboard training that Dream Vision Group provides, and you can't go wrong.
I agree.
And if someone just wants a basic Braille display without all the bells and whistles of the Active series,
Well, then, we've got you covered. Handy Tech also has a basic series of Braille displays.
I thought you'd say that. Tell us about those.
The Handy Tech Basic Series displays are made to order, and are available with or without input keys. You can get 20, 32, 40, 48, 64, or 80 cells of crisp Braille. The Basic Series are competitively priced and come with a 3-year warranty, so they are a practical and reliable choice.
Practical and reliable. That could really apply to all of the Handy Tech Braille products, don't you think?
I sure do. And I also think it's time to wrap up this presentation.
Agreed.
Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed learning about how Active Tactile Control can benefit teachers and students. To learn more or to find a dealer in your area, email us at info@dvg-llc.com or give us a call at 512-662-1629. You can also visit our website at www.dvg-llc.com.
Dream Vision Group.
We'll meet you where you are.
You tell us where you want to go.